You're probably wondering what possessed me to get a Bronco. Well, there's a couple of reasons. When I was growing up, my Uncle Gabe would always call me OJ, and he was like, you know what, your big black ass will look good in a Bronco. So eventually, I got a Bronco, not because of Uncle Gabe, only because I always wanted a Bronco. My neighbor had one, and it's just probably one of the coolest two-door trucks, if you can consider this a truck, on the planet. Every time somebody comes up to me like, man, my whoop-de-whoop, wop-de-whoop used to have one of these, but now I own it, and it was cool. I got this from a place called DSF over in Signal Hill. It was sitting there, I literally went in there, and I was like, man, is this for sale? Mr. Joel was like, yep, it has a price. And he was like, if you want, you can take it to get inspected, and you let me know what you think. Ended up taking the Bronco to Michael Cox. He told me there was a few things it needed, a few things he would adjust, and the price he would pay. Mr. Joel and I talked, and here we are today. I got this Bronco a little bit over a year ago, and it's probably one of the best, worst things I've ever bought. Ever since I got the Bronco, it's been my vision to kind of try to do off-road things. So I hit up Michael Cox. We went with the Desolate Motorsports package with the King shocks. They redid the brakes. They redid everything under the truck. And now, the best part about it is we're here at Deon's house. My boy, I done known him since I was in freaking like 9th or 10th grade. And I told him if I ever had an opportunity to do anything Ford related, he would be the first person to help. And you can imagine making over a 20-year promise and actually being able to fulfill that means a lot to me, not only me, but I get to build something with my boy on the channel and show everybody something we did together.
I know you all like a great deal, so let me help you out. 80 bucks, you get a keychain. 120, you get keychain and gloves. But for 150, you get keychains, gloves, and this beautiful Hoonigan tool bag. Buy now, or I'll find you.
So we went with the 408 that Deon built. 408 is pretty much a stroked out 351. There's just something about like a choppy V8 that's strong, that gets the job done. Then we had Mr. Steve come down here who does the transmission. So we went with the 408 attached to a TH400. Let me actually ask Deon to come help me. Deon! And while Deon appears. Now, Deon, Holley sent me a bunch of shit, but I don't know what it is, and you're well diverse in it. So can you explain it to me?
Okay, so Holley sent us the MSD Bluetooth ignition box. You got the ignition coil, and you have the Holley 12.5-inch screen.
In a prehistoric world, I'd run my stock dash I have now with the big ass tack, like some old school Fast and Furious stuff, but we have eliminated all that with the Holley EFI dash. Now for everybody saying carburetors are stupid, listen, you probably have a fuel injected truck you bought off the lot. Ain't nobody gonna come up to you at a red light and be like, that's a cool truck. Unlike OJ right here, this bad ain't.
Hey, you can do it.
We gotta stop talking and get this shit installed, so please enjoy us watching us install this on this hot summer day.
Yes.
Stay hydrated, y'all. It's too hot. Ooh, look at that. Look, ooh.
You see look how small that is. That thing controls your engine, bro.
Does it?
Yeah.
That's what this is?
Yeah, that's the ignition box.
Oh, so it's just a ground and power.
That's all it is, bro. That's why I said it ain't hard.
So I'm just stupid.
That's exactly what it is.
Oh, fuck you.
I'm gonna show you what not to do. Don't just go in there and start wiring up stuff just because you know. You might wire it up backwards. You know what I'm saying? So always go over your instructions, kids.
Diaphragm 1.
Power, ground, and then your switch wire that turns on when you turn on your key. Be sure it stays live when you're spinning the motor over.
And we got that. That's the blaster.
Then I gotta be like, what?
This one.
Yeah.
You got the blaster.
And this is Chevy.
Okay.
We don't need that.
Would that be convenient to put it right here?
Why not?
I don't know. Oh, it's an old cigarette in here.
Gotta smoke it. So I mean, I'm about to put a hole in the firewall.
Okay.
I'm about to put the wires to it.
That's fine.
So let's see if we can put this right here. This stuff is big, bro. What is that?
I think it's the stock car pad.
Okay. Go look outside. I'm gonna put a screw in it first.
Okay.
And then you just let me know.
It's where the transmission is though, yeah?
No, it should be a little up top. I want to come out directly behind the motor.
Okay.
So I'm gonna use this long screw, which is I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna be right there.
I'm looking.
Ready?
Yeah.
You see the screw?
Yeah, it's right here, right behind the block.
All right, that's cool. Not only I just lost it because this rubber piece is right here.
Hold there.
All right. Now what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to order one of them little rubber plungers and just pop it in there around the wire. I just do it like this then. How about that?
That work, but it's upside down. Hey, do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Oh, hold on. Where they gonna put the radio?
What radio?
I'm supposed to get a walkie-talkie. You right.
You know what, Gary? Stop bothering me, man. You're taking me out of my zone, and I'm gonna whoop that ass.
Promise.
The Canadian chick?
Stop lying.
No, that's it. These are your ignition coil wires. Hold on, one more. Uno más.
How do you even learn to do that?
Alright, so now we can hook that up to the battery and hook that one up to the distributor. Then we can mount the ignition coil right there. These wires right here are gonna go to the battery.
It seems like it may be enough room.
No, you don't want them tight. You want.
I want some slack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you want me to mount the coil? You want me to mount the coil on the motor?
Usually, is it mounted on the firewall or away from the engine?
You can mount it wherever. So the thing about it is, since you don't have your carburetor mounted yet, usually the intake have a little mounting where you can mount it up here or. Nope, I don't think this one has anything like that. So
Whatever you think is best, or we could do it on the shock maybe. Or is that doing too much?
I wouldn't put it right there. Get out of the way. All right, so what we can do is
You put it over here.
you can mount over here.
Yeah.
Dude, is this a jack?
I don't know. I don't know. I never used it.
Wow.
Is this? Yeah.
My bad.
No, you're good.
Yeah, you can just take this jack out. We can mount it right here. Oh wait, that's the jack. So
I ain't never knew this was here. Yeah, that's the.
take that out.
What am I jack up with this? The you want it up and down?
Yes, just like that.
Like that. It's because there's nothing on the bottom, right?
No.
Yeah. So does this go here?
No, that goes to the
Battery. Okay.
The other two wires, the orange and black wire, go to this dude.
No, what's this one?
That's to the distributor.
Okay.
Let me grab my Spider-Man string. Spider-Man.
Spider sense is tingling. Ooh, that sounds fucked up. Stop, bro. That sounds horrible. It's downtown? All right, let's start with the dash.
Oh, so that hole's for the dash too?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I made it big enough to try to get everything out at the same time.
Okay, I was wondering. I was like, why you put this big ass hole here?
Shut up.
So you get the screen. Ooh, don't let me hit that hard. Got the screen. Hit that. Put this on top of the dash. Anytime you have anything GPS related, you want it to be as close out to the parts that it needs to be. If that makes sense to anybody. How big is this?
Bro, he didn't even measure. He measured it yesterday. He said it was 12 inches.
It'll fit. Bam.
What she said.
That should look good. Just leave it like that.
For real?
No.
The minute you touch anything, it's gonna fall off. Hey man, look, when you get stuff, I'm gonna need you to get everything.
Holley EF5 12-inch dash for a OBS Ford. We mounted the ignition box, ran the wires through, extended the ground and power cable. We got the
ignition coil.
Yeah.
That's wired up.
That's wired up. So right now, this is for the screen. Deon's going to wire up the ignition and then pretty much to the Holley EFI dash. And then that way we can get power and make sure everything's functioning. Am I sounding right?
Yeah.
Are you sure? You got to make sure. Somebody going to watch this and be like, those two dudes don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're absolutely right. There you go. So right now, Deon connected the truck harness together, so you hear. That means the truck's getting power. The main thing right now is just finding a place for the ignition wire on the EFI system, so that way it'll show the power. You get ground, power, and signal. Our signal is our ignition wire. So this won't power up until the ignition's on and it tells the screen that it's getting power.
We're gonna find out if Deon know what he's doing.
Box turned on. Oh shit, it's a flip screen? Oh shit. It's touchscreen.
It is.
This thing probably costs more than the whole goddamn truck. No. You see, computer. I mean, oh, it got menu. Oh, okay. Configuration. I'm not gonna touch that. And you may be like, why does it take so long? That's just what it takes. Sometimes it just take a little bit of time, but once you know where it's at, then you know where it's at. There's one thing we need to do. We need to wait for some more parts. We need a carburetor. We need a distributor. We need a computer.
Got this cheesy bumper on it that need to be changed. I told you, call it stroke. This is stroked out.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone. He done had it rough. We got to ditch this thing because I want to put a winch on here. I want to put lights on here, and I'm not finna mess with all of this. So it's time to summon up. Computer, summon up 2 intelligent, energetic young people. So you may know these boys from running the Compton shop with Soupy and Grim.
This is the man, Kody. Yeah! And that's Angelo.
You know what? I always thought they were low-key better than them because they would just make them look good. No disrespect, Soupy and Grim.
No, we want disrespect.
No, we want it. What you gonna do, Soupy, when I bring my 2 tall cans to your shop and lay the punishment on you?
Bring out the muscle, baby. We're coming to Santa Fe Springs, and we're gonna mop the floors with ya.
We got a truck to build, so pretty much I got Baja Design lights. I actually won a winch at a golf tournament by accident. Shout out to Western Winch. I just got to go pick it up now. That's strong, but we got to put something in there stronger, harder, better, because if any circumstances come up where I need these lights and or a winch to get out of a sticky situation, this ain't gonna hold up too well.
We're gonna rip this thing off. We're gonna start getting all the stuff in, get some tubes going, get some tubes bent, and we're gonna see where we're at. Let's make it happen, baby.
Step 1, remove the bumper. Oh yeah, that was easy. Yeah, that's fucking on there. Stubborn boats, no need to worry.
Busta Grimes will help you out in a hurry.
You see that shit sizzling? There we go. Oh, you did it. He got it off. I told you all you have to do is let it sit.
All I need is Busta Grimes. Why does Busta Grimes smell familiar?
It does. That's that nice lemon citrus.
Like I just got my car detailed.
Yeah.
Kind of got these pre-made. It's a little plate with a tube on it and a hole on it, and we'll be able to drill into the frame, and we'll be able to work the tubes off of here, and basically they'll all bolt down, and then we'll make the whole bumper, and we'll be able to take it off and weld it and do all the tabs and like the winch mount off the truck.
Okay, for people that don't know what a jig is, usually in the fabrication world, they need something to base their structures off of, so they'll get something like this and then make the rest work.
Make it happen. This kind of makes it to where easy removal too. We're not welding tubes onto the truck or anything. We're kind of just drilling holes, bolting it. We could use existing holes too, and it makes it super easy. We got our points that we're gonna build our bumper off of on the frame. Now we're gonna get our main tube kind of bent up and like match the shape of our front end, and then we'll make tubes off of that notch and fit up to here, and then that'll kind of give us our base of like what we're working with the bumper. We got these guys on too, so like I was saying, once we get that tube up here and fit up right to these ones, we're gonna be able to make like a separate structure, and then it's gonna come up. That'll give us a perfect plane to be able to make our rock guard off of, and we'll kind of slip the winch in there. We're gonna get it going and see what we can do. So we got the main tube bent up. This is probably the hardest part of the whole thing. You have to get the width of the truck and kind of like match the whole shape of it. Now that we got this, we'll get it set into our main points. So it'll come off, come to here, and then we'll be able to work our lower ones for our rock guard mount, and then the winch will kind of pass through it. We'll be all golden. Yeah, dude. Yeah. So we got the front tube done. We got it fit up off of our removable point. We're getting these little guys made, and there will be a tube that runs straight across, and then off of those three, it'll come up.
Oh, let's sum it up for the people, all right?
Tell him,
all right.
tell him,
He likes
tell
to
him,
go
tell him,
too
tell
much of the details.
Tell him.
Bada boom, bada bing, bada done. That's it. It's that simple. It's fabrication. You cut it, you stick it, you weld it. We're good to go.
So the goal light-wise is I got these beautiful Baja Design. I got LP9s and I got some LP6s. Now I thought I was doing a little bit too much because I got the 6, the 9s, and the 4s. I was gonna do the whole front on some Jurassic Park, like John Hammond, like this is my park. But I think that's a little bit overboard. So with this, at the right angles, this will carry the fronts and these will carry the sides.
We're cooking with gas, baby.
You guys are ready to see what perfection looks like? Look at this. Kody and Angelo spent a good time doing this. I helped. I tacked something. I'm learning to weld, you know. Fab school coming for you. So we got the bar on here, and it's exactly what I envisioned. And when I say I envisioned, I just Googled a bunch of pictures and sent it to Angelo, and he was like, all right, bet. I can make it work. And it came out a lot better looking, and it's not even done yet. We got the Baja Design bad boys, and the cool thing is I got a Switch Pro panel to go on here. So each click of the switch can control like a different function of the light. So I got the Switch Pro 6, and then so we have these lights up here. I want them kind of like in there, and then these down here. I'm going for like kind of like an old school modern look. Kody and Angelo f***ing killed it today. And just knowing it's one step closer to like being like that Bronco that I thought it could always be. Don't drop that yellow cake.
Call me a rapper the way we got these bars.
It's that simple. It's that simple.
Let's see how bad it is. Yeah, let's see how bad it warped. Ooh!
See, my man went to the greatest f***ing hardware store ever. Ace. Home Depot could never keep up.
Not a sponsor.
No.
Guys, Ace is the place.
I low-key would steal some shit from Home Depot, but never Ace.
Better ingredients, better bolts. Ace Hardware.
But now these boys have brought down this beautiful bar. Now you ask yourself, what is the purpose of this bar? See, in the off-roader community, I got a stock bumper, which limits me to things. I could pay a bunch of money to add attachments to it, or we could get something like this custom fabricated from Angelo himself. And as you've seen, he built everything from the scratch. It wasn't like there was a prefab setup. He just came through, he looked at it, hit it with some tape, hit it with some motherfucking leveling. It's level. And now we get to put these lights on here. So now I get that nice, ooh, excuse me.
Get it in there.
I paid you for the day. You stay in your pale ass right here. Boys.
I'm gonna say what all the guys say. See, this is the most rewarding thing about this type of work, when a client like this is just stoked and he's happy with what I basically did, and you know, we basically move from there. It turns from a business relationship into a friendship.
Damn.
We're done, ladies and gentlemen.
Damn.
We're done.
Hey, you got that. Hey, you look at that. I need the goddamn Larry Hoover. Hey! I'm talking to the wind.